Okay, that was fun, you guys. It's Friday morning, November 18th. I can't even believe we're all the way to November and it's wintry outside. And next week, we just have this short two-day week, and then we have the Thanksgiving break, and then we have 14 days, and then we have the winter break. So, whew, good job. This week has been a good week. You guys have done a great job of coming into class and doing a lot of work, which is great. If you're a person who needs to get all that work submitted, please go back and take a look at what you still have to do. That language arts, you were supposed to submit your graphic organizer to me this week. That's really all. We're on to, and then yesterday you were supposed to take a quiz. We're on to a new language arts lesson today, 3.04, but you don't have to submit anything for it. So please make sure you've finished 3.03 and taken the quiz, and then start reading 3.04. Vivi, go ahead.
You should probably close out the breakout rooms.
Oh, okay. I will. Thank you. All right. Any questions about what's going on in, oh yeah, there we go. What's going on in language arts? Because some people ask me about what is 3.02. It's that graphic organizer. We did it together. You guys had options, whether you used your handout, whether you used a Google Doc, or whether you used anything else. That's the only assignment that had to be turned in. I did also ask you to create a Google Doc and write out your introduction. So if you took your introduction notes on this chart, then all you had to do was write it out in paragraph format. Okay. We did a lesson on that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go into the writing lesson, look at the last lesson on how to do your introduction. So that's where we are in language arts. We have the same lesson in math that we had yesterday, 5.03. So make sure you get your Dreambox done, but otherwise you should be in pretty good shape for math. If you tried the lesson yesterday and found it hard and need some help, please come ask me. You guys are, if we were in the classroom, I could walk around behind you and I could see who was having trouble with it and I would help you. But now I really depend on your self-advocacy, which means you have to be responsible enough to ask me if you don't understand, okay? When I see you not submit something, I don't know if that means you're busy and you didn't have time or you didn't understand. You've got to ask me, okay? And you guys, I'm going to tell you right now, not very many of you ask me very many questions. So you know what? You're making my job sort of hard and easy. Like, I don't have to work as hard as you should make me work, but at the same time, I have to work even harder to try to figure out how to help you. So please ask me if you have a question. I love it when you ask questions. All right, so that's 5:03, and then we have our girls group today at 10:30 and our reading warriors at 2:30 this afternoon. We started a science lesson yesterday, 6.04. We only got 4 pages in because it has you build a rocket. So if you didn't come to science yesterday, you probably want to look in your science book, and it actually has a template for this rocket in your booklet. So you can cut it out and start to make it. We didn't do the experiment yet, but we're going to do the experiment today. So it has everything that you need. All you need is some tape and scissors, and you can build your little rocket. And then we're also at 12:20 going to build our little airplane, balsa airplane that you guys got in your super secret packets. I think it's our last big super secret packet activity. And I was going to have us all go outside and throw them, but it has been very, very windy. They might fly away. So maybe we'll fly them in the house. I'm not sure. But we'll try our rocket out. We'll try our airplane out. We're going to do some experiments with force and motion at 12:20 today, or at least we're going to start it. But the thing is, we built our rockets yesterday. So if you haven't built your rocket yet, you're going to want to go in and build your rocket. Okay. We'll probably build the airplane and the rockets at 12:20 and maybe do the experiment at 2, because I don't know if we'll have time for both. All right, that's kind of what we're up to today. At this point, I'm going to kind of give you the option of whether you want to stay with me. I'm going to take you and show you where we are in language arts. Right there, language arts.
I feel like I haven't been doing any paperwork for language arts.
Well, it hasn't had that much, right? So this is a new lesson, stanzas in poems. So since we just did that drama last time, we're now doing poetry. I usually, when I'm in class, I usually give the kids an assignment to memorize a poem over break. If you want to memorize a poem and recite it for us, and I'll give you an example of that, I will give you a virtual prize for that. So Mila, you were asking the other day how to get virtual prizes. Here's an option to get a virtual prize.
Is there any other ways to get a virtual
Not
prize?
on this one. So you need to memorize a poem. It can be any poem. I'll tell you what, I'll recite the poem that my daughter learned when she was 2 years old. And she sat in a tutu in front of a huge audience and recited this poem. It's by A.A. Milne. It's from Winnie the Pooh, and it goes like this. Halfway up the stairs is a stair where I sit. There isn't any other stair quite like it. It isn't at the bottom. It isn't at the top. So this is the stair where I always stop. Halfway up the stairs isn't up. It isn't down. It isn't in the nursery. It isn't in the town. And all sorts of funny thoughts keep running through my head. It isn't really any place. It's somewhere else instead. Now, if my daughter could memorize that at 2 years old, you guys can memorize a poem, right? So find a poem, memorize it. This unit has, or this mod has 11 pages in it. And so it starts out, it goes through the 11 pages. Remember that the pages in the middle, I don't know which pages exactly, but they're written in the language arts section, are going to be writing pages that we're doing later in the day. But I'll go over this lesson if you have questions on it on Monday. For right now, though, you guys can start on it in groups if you want to. We have about 22 minutes. And so I'm going to stop my share. I'm happy to go through it here on the main screen with anybody who wants to stay with me. But I'm going to set up breakout rooms for anybody who would like to go and do it in a group. Or you can leave the meeting and do it on your own. So
Wait, do what in a group?
Lesson 3.04, language arts lesson 3.04. I'm going to set up about 15 rooms. You can go to a room by yourself. You can go to a room with friends. Remember, you're doing 3.04 and you're just reading through the lesson. So if that seems like that would be fun to do in a group, go for it. Why? Oops, just a minute. That didn't work. I tried to make the new breakout rooms, but it didn't work. Create 15 participants there, recreate, open all rooms. All right, there you go. If you want to stay with me though, I'll go through the lesson here. Questions, Liam?
That was before.
Okay, Kainoa, do you have a question?
Do we have to do the poem without writing on paper and looking at it?
Well, you're supposed to, but here's the thing. Am I in your room? If you had the poem sitting right behind your computer, would I even know?
No.
I don't want you to cheat. I want you to memorize it, but if you don't quite memorize it, it could be there as a backup. Okay?
I'll do it just in case I don't remember.
Just in case. Okay, great. All right, if anybody wants to stay with me, I'm going to go through the lesson, or you can go find a breakout room and work on it there. Here I go. I'm going to share my screen.
Can you also leave and do it by
yourself? Yes, you can leave and do it on your own. 3.04.
Okay, bye-bye.
A lesson. Okay, bye. Hi, Anna. How are you? You good? Are you okay? You're very quiet. I can't hear you. You must not be working again today. Vivi, are you feeling better? I hope.
Honestly, not any improvement.
Are you a morning person or an evening person?
I prefer the night.
Oh, you do? I'm the opposite. I have lots of energy in the morning. At night, I just go to sleep. All right, here we go. I'm going to share my screen and we can go through the lesson.
Can I do it by myself?
Absolutely.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, here we go. 1 of 11 pages. Oh, sign language. That's cool. Genevieve and Carolina are on their way to the next stop on their adventure to Memphis, Tennessee. Genevieve heard that Memphis is known for legendary music acts that got their start in the city. Both are excited to continue learning new and exciting things. On the drive, they noticed this billboard. Look at that. Do any of you guys know sign language? I didn't know how to say hi. H-I. That's cool. That's American Sign Language. This is a billboard for the American Sign Language alphabet. I learned how to sign my name using sign language. You try. Teach yourself to sign your first name using sign language alphabet. So my name is Lori. So L-O, where's R? R is kind of hard, huh? R-I. L-O-R-I. Got it. You doing it, Nora?
I'm trying.
The N's kind of tricky too, isn't it? It's between N.
Yeah, so like
O,
that. O,
R. I think the R is hard.
R.
And then where's the A?
A
Here's
is like that.
yeah, cool. That's cool. Word Wisdom Cursive. So now you want to get out your cursive booklet and make sure that you're working on this. You could work on this while I'm reading to you if you want. So get out your booklet and turn it to page 3.04. Here it is. Easy E's and Quirky Cues. Is that this one? No. Print. Review the cursive writing printable in the resources section of your writing binder. Then complete the cursive writing assessment provided. What is the assessment? Write the following paragraph in cursive. Oh, you have to do the whole thing. Ooh, that's kind of challenging. All right, let me see if I've got it. 3.04, there it is, cursive writing assessment. Remember that when you guys bring your booklets back, I'm gonna wanna collect them. So you might wanna turn to this one and try to write that while I'm reading. Interesting, you get to write a whole paragraph, wow. Huh. All right, and if you don't know how to make the letters, remember how it said to review that in your resources section? I think probably up here in resources, they have a cursive writing booklet, course wide. Cursive writing anchor chart. Here it is. There it is with all the letters so you can remember them. Nice. So that's in your resources. Okay, that's the cursive page. That's page 2. Page 3, rolling up the river. Can you find a few cities along the Mississippi River? Which states are they located in? So if you look, the Mississippi River is, I think it's bigger than the Columbia, but I'm not sure. I think the Columbia is longer, but the Mississippi has more water in it. But they're the 2 biggest rivers in the US. So you live near one of the biggest rivers in the US. This is the other one. Which one's bigger, the Mississippi, Dan? Mississippi has more water?
Yeah, Mississippi has more water.
Okay. So if you look, it starts up here in Minnesota. It goes through that and it comes to Wisconsin and then down into Springfield and Kansas and through Missouri and Arkansas. That's that funny state we were talking about. Tennessee, Mississippi, all the way down to New Orleans and flows into the ocean there. So really huge river. Cool. The headwaters or source of the Mississippi River is in Minnesota and the mouth of the river is in Louisiana. Just like the Mississippi River is made up of parts, fictional books, dramas, and poems have different parts. So this is called the mouth of the river where it flows into the ocean. This is called the source of the river where it begins. And it flows all the way and all these little rivers feed into it, which is pretty cool. Stories, plays, and poems. Stories, plays, and poems all have different characteristics that make each of them unique. Stories are divided into chapters. They have narrators and characters. They use descriptive language, have a theme, and a point of view. That means the point of view is like, who's telling the story? Is it the narrator? Is it a dog? Plays are divided into acts and scenes. You just studied that. The narrator tells the story. They act them out by speaking directly to the audience. They have stage directions written in them. They also include characters and settings and major events. They also have themes and they also have a point of view. But poems are very different. They're divided into what we call stanzas or groupings of words. The audience explore messages through reading and listening, but often poems are figurative. They don't say exactly what they mean. They use devices like rhyme, rhythm, and figurative language, similes and metaphors, alliteration, and hyperbole. Poems may include characters, setting, and events and have a theme. They do include a point of view, but they're written very differently. Poems are another type of literary text. They use words to paint images and communicate experiences. Poets carefully choose and arrange language for its meaning, sound, and rhythm. Poems are made of short lines that may or may not rhyme. In some poems, lines are grouped together or separated into stanzas. here's a poem right here, The Musical Mississippi. See if you can spot some of the elements. So this is a stanza. Here are the lines of the poem. And if you look at, it has a lot of parts in it that doesn't really read in full sentences like a normal piece of writing does. We'll read this later. For today, I think that's all the time we have because it's almost 9 o'clock. And so you guys need to be heading to your specials. But we will finish this lesson on Monday. All right.